Batchelor, Northern California. I would urge the delegates to vote against the motion to change the bylaws. I think there is a universe of difference between the words all and in general. And on one hand, I hear we're being told that it really won't make a big difference. But if it won't make a difference, then why are we being asked to change it? And if it's going to make a difference, that will open the way regarding women's ordination, which much of the world church is uncomfortable. The majority of the millions of Seventh-day Adventists are uncomfortable with the positions and motions we are making today. If it's not going to make a difference, then why are we voting it? If you change the word all to in general, that can make an incredible difference. If we were to say, "Hear, O Israel, love the Lord with, in general, your heart, and in general, your soul." Or at a wedding, and the minister is going through the vows, and he says, "Bill, do you take Sally, and are you willing to love and to cherish, forsaking all others?" And Bill interrupts the pastor and says, "Can we adjust that to in general, forsaking others?" They are very different words, and they will, I think, have a very different result. And what I am afraid of is that the door that we're opening now is not just going to pave the way to make a change regarding ordination. I'm afraid that it's going to affect other doctrines in the church. This is not just a policy issue, friends. This is a theology issue. There are millions of Seventh-day Adventists around the world that feel differently from the Bible, not because of some backward culture or social issue. And I hope that we'll respect them in the presentations that are made, that they are our brothers and sisters. So I would plead with you to go very slow and careful about voting against or changing the bylaws here.
My name is Stephen Bohr. I'm senior pastor of Fresno Central Seventh-day Adventist Church in Central California Conference. I'd just like to say that this issue has been made an issue of equality. But the issue is really not equality. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are equal, but they have different ministries. The Father sits on the throne, rules the universe. Jesus dies for sinners, and the Holy Spirit carries on the work of Christ on earth. They're equal, but they have different functions. Now I want to read you a statement that is found in Signs of the Times, January 24, 1895. It's been suggested that women's ordination was approved at the 1881 General Conference. I would wonder then why this was written by the editor of the Signs of the Times. The question is, who should be church officers? And this is the specific question. Should women be elected to offices in the church where there are enough brethren? Here's the answer. If by this is meant the office of elder, we should say at once no. But there are offices in the church which women can fill acceptably. And oftentimes there are found sisters in the church who are better qualified for this than brethren. Such offices, for instance, as church clerk, treasurer, librarian of the tract society, etc., as well as the office of deaconess, assisting the deacons in looking after the poor, and in doing such other duties as would naturally fall to their lot. The qualifications for church elder are set forth in 1 Timothy 3, 1 through 7, and Titus 1, 7 through 9. We do not believe that it is in God's plan to give to women the ordained offices of the church. By this we do not mean to depreciate their labor, service, or devotion. The sphere of woman is equal to that of man. She was made a helpmeet or fit for man, but that does not mean that her sphere is
Four. Yes, to the right. Pastor Batchelor.
Still Doug Batchelor, and pastor Sacramento Central last 19 years next month. I'm a convert to the Seventh-day Adventist movement, and I used to worship with other Christians. I just prayed and said, "Lord, I want to go where I can defend my faith from the Bible." And I know there are thousands of other members in this union that believe, like the millions of other members in the church, that there are Bible distinctions between the roles of men and women. And I believe that they're there from Genesis to Revelation. I do regret, and I want to say this respectfully, that it feels like there hasn't been fair representation in the presentations that have been made showing the other side. I appreciate my 2-minute soundbite. But there's a lot of other people that wish they had more time in a setting like this to give those reasons that the rest of our world church feels differently. I've got a minute left. What can I do in a minute? I believe it's unscriptural. I think God makes a distinction with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. There's no example in the Bible of a woman offering sacrifice, of baptizing, or fulfilling the roles of that part of the priesthood. Paul went from place to place. He ordained men as the pastors and elders of the church. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 3. But I'd have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of woman is man, and the head of Christ is God. I don't believe the spirit of prophecy supports the motion. Acts of the Apostles, page 95. Please notice. In the work of setting things in order in all the churches and ordaining suitable men to act as officers, the apostles held high the standard of leadership outlined in the Old Testament scriptures. Time's up.